Well, hello everyone, and this is Coach Kerry, and you are attending this because you want to know what it means to fly, to live a Frock-alicious life. And so I just want to maybe set the stage for you and ask you a couple of questions. Are you tired of settling for good enough, and you know it's your time to make a change? Are you ready to live fully with your purpose and with passion? And just break out of where you are and get those things that you really deserve. Are you exhausted maybe of doing the same old, and getting the same results over and over again? Are you frustrated because you know it doesn't have to be like this, but yet you don't know what you need to do? Well, if any of what I've said has resonated with you, then you want to stay till the end of this particular show, because today I have the honor of interviewing my very good friend and a woman that I admire for so many different things, Jo Dibblee. She is the best-selling author of a book called Frock Off, and she is a speaker, author, and an event coordinator. And so today we want to find a little bit more about why why it's our time to fly and what we can do about it. So welcome, Jo.
Well, thank you so much, Kerry. Thanks for sharing the message and helping us spread the word, because it is our time. There has never been a better time. We know that women should be starting businesses right now, that we're revolutionizing, changing, what have you. But it's also our time to take in all aspects of who we are as women, as business owners, as wives, mothers, you name it. It is time. If not now, I guess I'd ask when.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start off right at the top of this interview by asking you, where in the heck did the name Frock Off and Frock-alicious Life come from? Share that with our audience today.
Thanks, Kerry. It's so funny because when I first launched the book, Frock Off, I had a lot of pushback, as you can imagine, because people assumed it meant one thing when it actually meant something completely different. But the truth of it is that, we are, in our daily lives, we are conditioned to put on a mask or a disguise to blend in or fit in. And that becomes a really bad habit. So Frock Off was simply to say, live undisguised, live the life that you want. And there's a story behind that. And from that came a lot of interest in terms of, okay, Jo, I get it. I've got some frocks or some disguises, or I'm frustrated. Like you said, people are tired. They're tired of doing the same old thing. And so we came up with Frock-alicious, which, if you think of it this way, I want you to envision the most delicious thing that you've ever tried. So I think of, for me, chocolate is my thing. Apple pie's not bad either, but chocolate is a big deal to me. I love chocolate. I love the way it feels. I love the way I feel. Thank goodness I've got other things I like too, but chocolate is so delicious. It fills my senses. It makes me feel like I'm enjoying something that is it's decadent. And living a Frock-alicious life is living a delicious life, a life that's pleasing, where you're not feeling burdened by things. Easier said than done, but very doable.
Great. And what a great explanation. And I know that if people want to know more about your story, they can read your book. And so just tell them briefly how they can get a copy of your book if they want that.
Oh, thank you, hun. The book is on Amazon, amazon.ca or amazon.com. I'll just give you a quick show of what this looks like so you can see what the actual cover looks like in case you're looking online. Believe it or not, since I launched Frock Off, there's been multiple different things that have come out. Imitation is flattery. I'm very, very flattered that it's working out well. So the book is on Amazon, obviously at live events. I always have copies with me. My goal really is to help people we're just the vessel to open the door to awareness so that we can reclaim the lives we dreamed of. Maybe when we were 20. Some of us were 20 yesterday, some not.
Yeah. So Jo, tell us what gave rise to the events, because obviously you speak, people can read your book, but something caused you to think about creating these events, and we've got one upcoming in Vancouver on Friday, March the 6th. So we're going to talk about that in a moment. But tell me, what was the catalyst to create these events?
Really what happened, Kerry, is that people started to contact me after they had read the book, or they had heard me speak, or they had heard of me, and they said, you know, I'm ready. I want to create that tsunami of change that we talk about in my life. We've all met someone who's, you just think that person's on fire, and I want what she has. She's contagious. Well, to me, that person's living their Frock-alicious life. And wouldn't you know that if you're doing the things you're supposed to do, things come with a little bit more ease and grace. I'm not saying there isn't going to be challenging times. Like, I'm here to tell you that would not be true. But I am here to say that when you accept those things, then things start to change. And so we had all this interest, and I had a lot of people asking me, you know, I've recently relocated back to British Columbia, and I was very connected in the Alberta market, and I knew a lot of people in Ontario, and people were saying, Jo, when are you going to do something around us, you know, getting us exposure to people that can help us get back on track, or even if we're not so much off track, we know that it's that one little thing. So what happened is people started saying, Jo, seriously, we need something to get back into this, or to actually start living our Frock-alicious life. Because if I like to think of it this way, Kerry, people tend to live as though they have endless amounts of time.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate,
right?
Isn't it? And usually that only happens when something either happens in our life, quite dramatic, to remind us of that, or someone in our world, that there's something that happens and it causes us to take stock. And it's unfortunate that we have to wait till that point to make those kind of changes.
But it's true, because I think the other thing is life happens, so we get busy caring for other people, caring for, you know, Sandwich. You and I both been through this kind of stuff, and we end up waiting until it's, you know, we're now driven to do it, but perhaps there's some physical challenges, you know, financial, whatever it may be. The truth of it is, you know, as cliche as it is, we do really only get so many sunsets and sunrises. So we need to start doing it now. And I like to say, live your legacy today. You know, if I'm to go tomorrow, I want to know that I am doing everything, or I have done everything that will allow me to have lived my purpose. Because we're all called for bigger things. You know, the old saying, there are two important days, the day you're born and the day you truly know what you're to do with your life, the purpose. That day, that why day, that rocks. That's Frock-alicious.
Right.
It's about on purpose, on fire, and changing, if it's in your home, if it's in your community, or in some cases it's in the world. That's what it looks like. And it's about being happy, because we all deserve that.
So you obviously had a demand for people to have the resources, for you to be able to put in front of them the people that you see as being catalysts for being able to do that. So that gave rise to the event. So the one on March 6th, tell our audience why they absolutely need to be there.
Oh, you know what? The amazing thing about these events is how they unfold to provide a split of business and personal development. Because really, we are our business. So we need to have catalysts of change in the room that understand different aspects. So the reality is getting yourself in one room with this quality, this access to this type of information, not to mention the people sitting in the room, because this is often a misperception. The person on the stage will share some information, but that person sitting next to you who's like-minded, who has the same goals, she's got something you don't even know about yet. So by being there, by investing in yourself and playing full on, and when I say playing, it's work. But it's for you. It's investing in yourself. Like, if you want to grow your business, if you want to grow your life, if you want to live the legacy you're intended to, then being at Frock-alicious is a no-brainer. Now add in some icing of some amazing women that'll share their secret sauce to your success. And what about the lady sitting right next to you? How many times, Kerry, have you and I strategized?
Yeah,
we didn't need to be on, right? We didn't need to be on a stage to do that. But you put all that in one room, I guess my question is why wouldn't you be there? Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. This is huge, right? For yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and March is a perfect time because they'll have already had a couple of months under their belt, see how things have, how their resolutions or their strategies they've put together for the year, how they're coming together, and maybe it's time to give them another little sort of kickstart. So let's give the audience some actual logistics. What are the, they know the date, but where is it and time and, all that kind of stuff, and how they can find out more about that either online and how they can register.
Absolutely, and thank you. So some basic logistics, just to give you kind of a sense of why, again. I believe that if you're going to do something that is going to help you grow, there has to be an inspiring venue, for lack of a better way of saying this. I want to go to some place where we feel that we're living that Frock-alicious life. So I'm very excited to share that it's at the River Rock Casino and Resort in Richmond. Pretty easy access. Lots of direction information for those of you that are looking and saying, I have no clue where that is. Now, I'm dyslexic, so I won't be giving you directions, but I've been told by several it's very easy to get to. It is on March 6th. We start a little later in the day because obviously as women we have things on our plate or traveling from certain places. So we start at 10 and we go till 5. Logistics, things like lunch and nutrition break, coffee, tea, that kind of stuff, that's included, so not to worry about that. But other things to consider in terms of the event itself is the pre-access, getting on the fan page, all that stuff, which we do once you are registered in the event to get you communicating right, building community right from the get-go. I guess the other thing you'd want to know, obviously, would be the price. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? The price for Frock-alicious by Design, which is the event on March the 6th, is $189. That's what the early bird registration is. And you can find all the details of all the speakers rather than me rattling off everyone that's coming and speaking is at www.frock, that's F-R-O-C-K off.com, and just simply look in events and you'll see Frock-alicious by Design under events, and that's where full details on what to expect. But I think even that, it gives you a glimpse, just a snippet of what you're looking at. What you can really expect is you will not leave there the same. And so some people, if I can be so bold, some people would say, yes, but Jo, it's a one-day event. What can I really do in one day? Well, I'll tell you what, you don't get off that easy. It is a one-day event, but there's a community and there's accountability. And that is to ensure that you see it. I've seen things launched since some of our early event, which is only, we're talking September of last year. People have launched their books. They've written songs that have been published, produced, they're singing. Like, there are big things going on. Launched businesses, left corporate companies where they were doing time. It was good enough. That fear has been set aside, and they're rocking their lives, they're living their legacies. So, long-winded answer, it's pretty straightforward, right through the website. We'll also be promoting, I know you'll be getting this information, I'll be promoting this out. You can find us on Facebook as well, but we'll be promoting this out so that you can register and save your seat.
That's great. So obviously, if people are looking for inspiration, for motivation personally and professionally, if they're looking to make some strategic alliances with other women in the room, because you never know. I always say, just be open to the possibilities of what might happen. I'm going to be there, and so I'm really looking forward to the event. And so thank you very much, Jo, for sharing this with everyone. I'm gonna get this out to my contacts, because I think it's a great event for people, time of year, just to again push them through this little slump that they'll have gotten into after their big peaks in January and February. Then come March, we need another little push up again. I think it's a perfect time to do that. So, and awesome. I just want to personally thank you for having the courage to share your story and create this movement, because it really is time. And I really want to honor you for that, and thank you for that.
Kerry, I thank you so much. We call it the Frock Off revolution. And if you're ready to fly, we'd love to soar. Like, there's no mistaking that you will leave there feeling a lot lighter, and a lot more on purpose. And I'm so glad you're coming, Kerry, because we need your expertise in the room to share. And this is why I say all the time, we often, we get caught up in stuff. The truth is, the gems are sitting right in our backyard. The gems are sitting right next to us. And we need to start really tapping into like-minded people in a way that we can really continue to support each other. And that's how we're going to do it. So thank you for all you're doing, for the opportunity to share the message. And I can't wait to see you there. And we'll get this out as soon as we can.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you again, Jo, for your time and your inspiration. And we'll sign off. We'll see you all at Frock-alicious. See you at the event. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.